GD-02 has been out for a little over a week, but I don't think it's what we were hoping for. Let me tell you why. What's up everyone, it's Garrett with Talking Cards, and today we're talking Gundam, and specifically GD-02 Dual Impact. I think we can look back at set 1 and say we had a pretty good meta. Yes, it was wing dominant, yes, it was green-blue dominant, but like red-blue was super competitive, even the deck of choice at one point in the meta. Blue-white was the original best deck in the format at the very beginning of the format and beta format. And it's like, we had 4 real nice pillars. People could kind of play between these 4 decks and do well, and expect to do well. And then red-white came along, made a little bit of noise, and it was also a playable good deck. And now we have set 2 come out. And looking back at set 1 and just how impactful, you know, the variety of cards were in set 1, looking at GD-02, Dual Impact, it's surprising what little impact on competitive play it truly has. I mean, the best card in the set to me is Rick Diaz, a level 3, cost 2 blocker white card that can be fit into many decks. Makes blue-white better, makes green-white better, and we're just making better the chosen archetypes of set 1 essentially. Set 2 wanted to introduce archetypes that I don't think they gave the proper support for. Let's go over that first. Let's talk about the archetypes given between GD-02 and ST06. All right, let's break down the archetypes of GD-02 and ST06 clan. So ST06 clan introduced a whole new archetype that's really cool and also has support within the set. However, it's not a complete deck. We just missed the mark. It's so close to being a deck. But the fact that we don't have any 2/2s or anything like that that are clans, or any low-level units that really are impactful, it really holds back the clan stuff from being a really good deck, and a really consistent deck at that. Like, there's pieces. Like, this archetype could be really good in the future, it's just not really good right now. And between the ST06 starter deck and GD-02 Dual Impact, there's just not enough to make it work. I'm hoping in the future we get more support that makes it work. The problem is, a lot of archetypes this set are having that same problem. Let's look at Titans. We get Psycho Gundam, we get 4. These are interesting cards that do interesting things. However, it needs more support. Psycho Gundam on itself isn't that crazy of a card. Yeah, it has Breach, yeah, it can draw you a card, yeah, it can heal and stay around. But it's not that hard right now to do 6 damage. So it kind of forces you to want to play blue-white instead of something that more like blue-red in it. Because if that Psycho Gundam can only survive 1 turn, it's not getting the value, it's not having the impact that you would hope it would have throughout a game. I mean, you gotta remember, green-white just got a brand new level 4, cost 3 unit, and Gundam Heavy Arms that gets to look at the top card of its deck and then either put it to the bottom or keep it at the top. But it's also a Hero UE link. So that means it can be a 6/6 unit on turn 4. Psycho Gundam's coming out at, you know, turn 6 doing that. And it's just such an easy answer to Psycho Gundam and one of the most popular decks that people are playing right now in green-white. So like, not to pick on Titans, I like Psycho Gundam, I like 4. It's just these things don't have the support needed. And then let's look at something like the Oz stuff with Epion, right? This was introduced in GD-01, and now we got Epion, and it's like, Epion still isn't good enough to impact all the Oz stuff that was already there, because the Oz stuff in the beginning wasn't that good. Zex is still good. I do like the new Tall Geese. I think that's a real unit, but it's like their pieces aren't aligned yet. I do think in the future sets, some of this stuff could really, really pop off. But I think when we're looking at the meta and we're looking at the way Gundam is being played competitively, we were hoping GD-02 would be a much more impactful set, because we wanted to see new archetypes, we wanted to play new decks at a competitive level. I mean, New Type Challenge 2 is about to start in a few weeks. And I think it's gonna mostly be green-white Wing Zero and green-blue aggro. And I wanted to see new stuff. I mean, you look at the age stuff, it suffers from the same problem. It just doesn't have enough support to be its own archetype yet. And yeah, you can play good green stuff, white stuff, and mix it in together. Blue is still so viable, but it's like all these other things are, you know, wind linked and like that. Like the versatility of Amuro, let's say, or Kira, it's just not there as much. Like Camille is super versatile, super good, but you gotta have a white base in play, so it's essentially a 2-card combo. So things like that really factor in how impactful a card can be. And as someone who wants to build decks, and I think the deck building in this game is fantastic, I think we aren't at the point where we can really explore as much as like I personally would like to. And while we're on the archetype subject, before I wrap this up, let's go over the purple stuff, because I do think purple and red got like the biggest boost, right? Like, yeah, I'm saying green, white, blue, white just got better because of Rick Diaz, and I totally think they did. And I think Rick Diaz is the most impactful card in the set, unfortunately. But I do think purple got better. It got more consistent. The new Barbados that can come out on level 3 only costs 2. When damaged, when it attacks, gets to draw a card. Card is really good. I like that card, but I don't know that it puts purple blue over the top. I do think it can maybe, you know, play along tier 1, tier 2, you know, and saying tier 1's green, white, and green, blue. I do think it's somewhere in there, just like red blue. And red blue got, you know, all range attack, I think is really good. The command that can ping 1 to everything that's not a link unit, also has a burst of a ping. I think that card's really good, you know. And I do think Hamon's good as a pilot because it says just a red pilot and it can ping 1. It's a level 5, so it's a little later, unfortunately. And then Quibbly is really good, but it's a level 7. So it's like red blue last set was in this weird range where it was like playing pretty fast, you know. Level 7's kind of a long time to really impact things the way you want to. I still think it's a fantastic card, and I think someone can make it work. This video is not saying what will and won't work this set. It's saying that I don't think the immediate impact is as impactful on the competitive play of the format as I wanted it to be. That's really all I'm trying to say here. I want to shout out Versus Games. They're my first stop for everything card related. They do a great job of getting cards into the hands of people in the community, and they really try to feed that growth. So definitely check them out for all your product and singles needs. And with that being said, let's get back to the video. Let's get away from archetypes for a second and talk about just the card pool of GD-02. I think when we look at the 4 categories, bases, pilots, commands, units, that we'll all agree that it's not as impactful as we hoped. Like when we look at set 1, there is not a pilot in this set that is better than Amuro, Ray, or Kira. And these were in, you know, starter decks, I understand, but you know, it was the set 1 meta. But there's nothing better than those in this set. And that's unfortunate to me. I would say the best pilot in the set is Hamon because it is a little versatile in that it can be linked to any red card to get its effect. Another issue for me is bases. I don't think the bases are that impactful this set. I think Argama's nice. I think Shuji's Hideout's okay, but I don't think it's that impactful. Like, I don't know if we're getting better bases than Archangel or even 6 HP bases. I think it's really tough to beat some of the bases in set 1 and with the first 4 starter decks. I mean, Versalis is still an insane base to me because it just doesn't take much and it only costs 1 to be played. Corsica's good because it creates a unit. Like, there's just so many good bases that exist from the first 4 starter decks in GD-01 that GD-02 did not impact like bases enough for me. Same with commands. All range attack is good. Beneath the Mask is good. There's cards here that are good, but it just needs more cards to make these cards even better in the future, right? By themselves, they're just okay or good. They need more support. And I think when we start looking at all this stuff, like even the units, there's not a unit in this set that's as good as Wing Zero. Wing Zero takes nothing. It just, you play it down, you deal 3 damage to everything that's level 5 or less, and it has high maneuver, and it's a 5/7. Doesn't need a pilot, doesn't need anything. It's always gonna do everything it can. And there's not as many impactful units in this set like that. I mean, I think the most impactful card is Rick Diaz, and that's not a joke. I really think it boosts the other decks that already exist in the meta, but to go to this card pool, I don't think this card pool created enough competitive archetypes yet. So that closes out my thoughts on GD-02 from the card pool to archetypes. And I really hope in the future we get to see a lot of what this set did be expanded on. You know, I hope we get more Age support. I hope we get more Oz support. I hope we get more Vulture support, because all these things, and Clan especially, are missing little pieces that are just keeping them a tier 2 low to be truly competitive. All in all, I think GD-02 is a cool set, but it needs support from future sets. I don't think it's a bad set, but I think it didn't impact the game competitively the way I was hoping for. So, if you guys agree, comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, you know, and as always, if this is the kind of content you enjoy, please like and subscribe. Really helps the channel grow, and thanks for watching.